Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Esri Conservation Summit Africa. I'm Pauline Okel, and I'm a solution engineer with Esri, based in Kenya and supporting our users across Africa. Behind the scenes, I'm joined by my colleagues Raquel Perez, Matt Pennels, and Berosha Naidu. We're so excited that you've been able to join us today to share ideas and be inspired by the great work that everyone has been doing in conservation across our extraordinary and diverse continent. Today, we'll have over 700 people in conservation participating in this summit from many countries across Africa and beyond. For those of you seeking learning and service acknowledgement for participating in the summit, we'll be offering a certificate of attendance after the session in a follow-up email. As we all know, these are challenging times for all of us. So while we wish we were able to do this in person, we're very grateful to all of you for joining us in this virtual format. It's our goal, however, to make this event as interactive as possible with poll questions and live Q&A sessions with our presenters. So along those lines, let's get started with the poll question, just to see where everyone is dialing in from today. So my colleague will pull up the first poll question. And we'll give you a few seconds to respond to the question. So we're seeing great representation from Southern Africa, from Eastern Africa. Great to see people from West Africa, from Central Africa. A few more seconds. As a few more people join the session also. It's great to see good representation from around the continent. So I think we'll just close the poll question and continue with the rest of the summit. So I wanted to share a bit more about the format of the summit, along with a few housekeeping items. This session is being recorded, and following the event, you'll receive a link for the recording and a few supporting resources that will be mentioned during the summit. We'll have a live Q&A section at the end of each session with our presenters. You're welcome to submit your questions anytime through the event via the Q&A module that you can see on the screen. We'll do our best to respond to all your questions, either live or in email after the event, in case we're not able to respond to them today. Please be ready for more poll questions throughout the summit. Your input is extremely valuable to us, and we thank you in advance for sharing your comments. This is the first of a series of regional conservation events we are planning at Esri, of course starting in Africa. So we greatly appreciate your guidance as to how to improve the event in the future. If you could, please share your comments in the post-event survey at the conclusion of the summit. For anything else on the webinar or conservation solutions, you can reach us through the given email. It's our absolute pleasure to welcome you to this community gathering to celebrate our conservation success stories in Africa and share these amazing examples of best practices and current trends of conservation GIS. This is our first annual Summit on Conservation in Africa, with many more to come. So again, we thank you for being here with us and helping us make this event a success for everyone involved. As we continue to uncover and learn about ecological challenges facing our planet and the increasing threat to wildlife, the conservation of biodiversity is increasingly difficult and increasingly important. It's now well understood that GIS technology is an effective tool for managing, analyzing, and visualizing wildlife data in order to target areas where conservation practices are needed the most. GIS helps to monitor and visualize population and distribution, habitat use and preferences, progress of conservation activities, and historic and present regional biodiversity. Leveraging GIS to enrich conservation initiatives provides a key advantage when working to restore, protect, and preserve the environment. You'll hear today from leading institutions who will be sharing their methods and approaches to conservation GIS to help encourage others to achieve similar impacts. Your work is extremely important, and at Esri, it's our mission to support you in your applications of GIS towards a more sustainable future for all life on Earth. I'd like to give you an overview of the summit agenda before we transition to the presentations we've planned for today. We'll start with user presentations covering impact stories from organizations involved in conservation land management, followed by those in landscape level conservation. We'll then have a live Q&A at the end of each session, where your questions will be responded to live by our presenters. As training and support are key resources in implementing the conservation solution, we'll introduce you to some of our distributors and partners across Africa who are working to provide you with the support you need to implement these solutions in your own organization. Lastly, our technical team will guide us through a conservation technology update, covering the latest developments in ArcGIS and how to use them in transforming your daily workflows. We hope you find our sessions meaningful, and we look forward to engaging with you during the summit. Before we proceed, I'd like to invite my colleague, Mr. David Gatson, to provide his opening remarks and kick us off. David?
Hello, and welcome to the 2021 Esri Conservation Summit, Africa. It's such an honor for our team to be able to provide this forum to allow leading organizations to share their work in applied GIS for conservation challenges across this incredible continent. This is part of a new event series that we're kicking off, where we're regionally focusing on conservation topics and providing a forum to help inspire community around the use of Esri geospatial tools and amplify the voices of those that are doing amazing work. Now, all of you are doing amazing work. The challenges that we're facing relative to climate change and increasing human development pressure is putting an incredible amount of stress on the natural environment. I'm sure as experts in the field, you know this better than anyone. Our role at Esri is to try to build the best possible geospatial technology and to contribute that to your work. Many of the examples that you'll see today are powered by Esri's geospatial infrastructure, including ArcGIS Online. As part of a major commitment we've made in partnership with National Geographic and others, these tools are freely available to anyone working on protected area management across the entire continent. So I hope you find this to be an educational event, an inspiring event. I am already personally inspired based on the inputs of the presenters that we've seen come in as we've developed this program. So thank you for being here. I wanted to note that this is an incredibly difficult time globally. It's a difficult time for all of us. And on behalf of Esri, I wanted to convey our hope that you, your families, and your communities are staying healthy and well as we work through these pandemic conditions. And again, we hope to be able to convene in person to share this type of experience. But for this year, thank you for joining virtually. I want to thank my colleagues, Pauline Akayo, for hosting today. She's supported behind the scenes by Matthew Pennells and Raquel Perez. There's been a lot of work that went into this program today, and we're excited to get started. So thank you again for joining, and I hope you find this to be a valuable experience. Of course, we would love to get your feedback with the survey we'll offer up at the end as to how we can improve this initiative. Thank you so much.
Thanks, David. As he's mentioned, your work is extremely important in light of the incredible challenges facing our natural world. You'll be hearing today about conservation solutions from Esri, and while we'll be focused on Africa throughout the summit, I just wanted to mention that you're part of a global conservation community. While Esri serves thousands of conservation organizations, this map represents users from around the globe who've incorporated our conservation solutions offerings in their work. It's our hope that throughout the summit, you can connect with other conservation users facing similar challenges both in Africa and globally.